guys, I am here at GenCon 2016 with Duncan of Osprey Games. Duncan, thank you so much for joining us.
No bother.
We're looking at a game called Agamemnon, and this game originally got our attention, first of all, because it's such a beautiful cover. But then more importantly, the gameplay looked very interesting. So Duncan, take it away. Tell us a little bit about Agamemnon.
Sure, so Agamemnon is a two-player game. In theory, we're taking on the roles of Greek gods, trying to affect the outcome of the Trojan War.
Okay.
So the gods only have kind of indirect influence. So the only really control you have is over where the different leaders and soldiers are on the battlefield at any given moment in time.
Nice.
In practice, it's an area control game, and it's a little abstract looking, but
Wow, look at this.
yeah, it's real pretty. So we're each going to have a set of 15 player pieces. And on our turn, we're going to flip two pieces face up and deploy them on one of these circles somewhere here on the board.
Okay.
Each of these circles is part of several different areas, as denoted by the different connecting pieces here, which are the strings of fate. So if I was to place a piece here, it would count as part of this area here, but also as part of this area here.
Wow.
And each of the different types of connection are controlled in a different way. So these ones here are controlled surely by force of numbers, so whoever has the most pieces of any type in those. These ones here are military strength, so whoever has the most spears on their pieces within those spaces. And these ones here are won by leadership, so whoever has the piece of the highest rank.
Wow.
So
I already see it happening in my
we
head.
each have a similar set of pieces. At the end of the game, once all of the pieces have been deployed, we're going to go one by one through each of the different areas. Whoever has control of that area gains those connections, and whoever holds the most strings of fate at the end of the game is going to be the winner.
Beautiful. So how have you seen this game play out? You've been demoing this game here at Gen Con. What's the reception been like? What's the play been like?
The reception's been great. The game plays incredibly quickly, so people assume it's going to be something light, but as soon as they set in and as soon as they manage to click into that concept of competing from multiple areas at once in the same deployment,
Yeah.
it really forces them to get their brain really honed down. But it has a nice balance. It's not going to be too AP because you have limited control of the space of the pieces you have available to you on any given turn.
Right.
So it creates that nice balance between something really tactical, but not something that's going to cause you to hum and haw over it all evening. So it plays in as quick as about 15 to 20 minutes.
Well, tell me about the design of this game. So the inspiration for this and how these mechanics kind of evolved to what they are today.
So this is a new title from Gunter Cornet, who is the designer of Hey, That's My Fish and Kahuna? I want to say Kahuna.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
that's right, yeah.
And I have loved his games for a very long time. I'm a particularly big fan of Hey, That's My Fish.
Yeah.
It's just so mean, but so elegant.
So right,
it's
yeah.
great. So as soon as he pitched an idea to me, we just jumped at the opportunity to publish it. Initially, this had quite a different theme, but we felt like the Trojan War both gave us something kind of slightly more solid to hook onto, even though the game itself was quite abstract. But it also gave us an opportunity to really put an eye into the graphic design of the game, and our designer Steve Maiorato has done a really, really beautiful job of
It's
just
gorgeous.
making everything just feel like it fits together really beautifully while still being really clean. So this is very, very close to what was originally pitched. We had to rejig the board layout very, very slightly to make sure it fit onto the form factor that we have. But what we did develop is the Loom, which is a variant for the game.
Wow.
So we have an alternate side of the board with 4 different types of connection. And at the start of the game, you randomize the placement of the different types of string of fate on the different colors here. So you might pull a red one from the bag, and then you set up your spear pieces there. You pull a blue one, you set up your force of numbers pieces there. You pull a green one, you set up your leadership pieces there. What it does, it gives you what feels like a random setup. There's 24 different possible board layouts in this.
Wow.
But each different layout is going to give you a balanced game of the game. So it massively increases the replayability and just allows you to keep from getting too used to, I suppose, playing the same game against somebody and keeping it fresh over a long period of time.
Wow, that is a great idea.
Yeah. We've also got a bunch of variants included in the game from Gunter, so variants on how you draw different pieces at different times. And as we say in the game, you know, we have our suggested rules, but it's somebody else's game. It's your game now.
Go
If
for
you
it.
want to play it in whatever way you want to play it, knock yourself out.
Well, Duncan, what is your favorite thing about Agamemnon? What is it that makes you just so proud to be a part of this game?
There's a satisfaction that I get from this, that I also get from The King is Dead. And it's a moment not with the people who are playing it, but the people who are watching the people play it, who suddenly kind of sense the tension in the room and get a little bit drawn in and start trying to focus in on what's happening, particularly as the game reaches its climax.
Yeah.
You'll start to get people who would have just been wandering past just slowly kind of drift back to the table to look what's going on. And that, to me, is the mark of a game that has the right amount of focus and the right amount of attention.
Well, Duncan, thank you so much. That's
no
great.
bother at all, man.
This is Osprey Games, Agamemnon. Check it out, guys. We got more coming from GenCon 2016, so stay tuned.